Pre-calculus 5.2 homework for Monday, December 16th. In questions 1 through 6, you are asked to list the transformations that are needed to graph these from the parent function h of x is equal to 2 to the x power to the graph of what's given. So for number 1, you should see that you have a 2 to the x minus 5. This is 5 units down. Or shift 5 vertically, 5 down. Number 2 is a reflection, a negative in front is a reflection over the x-axis. Number 3, you have a 3 in front. This is going to be a shift, a vertical stretch by a factor of 3. Number 4, this is going to be 1 unit right. Number 5, we have 2 units left. This is going to be 2 left and 5 down. And number 6, this is going to be a reflection over the x-axis, vertical stretch by 5, 1 unit to the right, and 7 up. For 7 through 13, same thing, but now we are going to describe the transformation from h of x is equal to 3 to the x power to this. So for number 7, you're going to say 4 units up. Okay, so 4 units up. This one is going to be a reflection over the y-axis when there's a negative there. Number 9 is a vertical compression by 1/4. The next one, this says 0.4. You're going to turn this into 4/10, which is 2/5. You flip that number, and that would be a horizontal stretch by a factor of 5/2. You always flip that number. The next one, number 11, you're going to rewrite this as 3 to the 2 minus x. That's what it says, hard to read. But then rewrite this as, you're going to rewrite this as 3 to the negative x plus 2. And then also, you're going to pull out the negative 1. 3 to the negative 1 times x minus 2. So this one is a reflection over the y-axis, and it's going to be right 2. So reflection over the y-axis and 2 units right. Because that's a negative 2, so it's going to be 2 right. Number 12, this one's going to be a vertical stretch by a factor of 5 and 8 up. And this last one, the most difficult one, just because it's hard to read, that one's going to be a vertical stretch by a factor of 4. Now this says 3 to the negative 0.15 x power. So you're going to convert this to, I need a fraction. So it's 3 to the negative 15 over 100 x. And I would reduce this. This is going to reduce to 3/20. So 3 to the negative 3/20 x. So it's a reflection over the y-axis for the negative, reflection over the y-axis, and you're going to flip this number 20/3, and it's going to be a vertical, horizontal stretch by 20/3. Horizontal stretch by 20/3, and you also have 8 units up. So horizontal stretch by 20/3, it's a reflection over the y-axis and 8 units up. For 14, what we need to first do on this one is you want to pull this, you want to rename this as -3 and then times, raise it 2 to the, you're going to take that 1/3 out. So it's 2 to the 1/3, because that's your A value, and then x minus 6. So your parent function is y equals 2 to the x, so you do -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. So put your parent function in. So you have 1/4, 1/2, 1, 2, and 4. So the first thing you're going to do right here, this is your A value. You are going to take all of your x values and multiply them by 3. So if you multiply these all by 3, all of your x values by 3, because you have to flip this number, 1/3, so you multiply by 3, so x times 3. So if you multiply this by 3, you get -6. Multiply this by 3, you get -3. Multiply this by 3, you get 0. Multiply by 3, multiply by 3. Then, I keep my x's, my y's the same. Next step, you're going to add 6. You're going to take the x values and you're going to add 6 to them. So if you added 6 to this, you get 0. Add 6 to this, you get 3. Add 6, add 6, add 6. Keep your y values the same. 1/4, 1/2, 1, 2, and 4. Next step, you are going to multiply your y values times -3. So if you multiply this by -3, you get -3/4. Multiply this by -3, you get -3/2. Multiply by -3, -3, -3. So your graph, you should be graphing 0, -3/4, 3, -1.5, 6, -3, 9, -6, and 12, -12. Let's see what this thing looks like. So, over 0, down 3/4. Over 3, 1, 2, 3, down 1.5. Over 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down 1, 2, 3. And 6, 7, 8, 9, this is going to be down 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. You're going to be kind of off page, but that's okay. And there's your graph. Number 15. Your parent function again is going to be, we're going to do, if we do -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, you get 1/4, 1/2, 1, 2, and 4 again. So for this one, you're going to want to pull out the -1. So you have -3, and then it's 2 raised to the -1 times x minus 1. So we're going to shift your graph 1 unit left. I'm sorry, 1 unit right. And it's a reflection over the y-axis. So step 1. What you're going to do is you're going to multiply the x values by -1. So take all your x values and multiply them by -1. So multiplying these all by -1, this is going to be a +2, 1, 0, -1, -2. Keep your y's the same. Next, you're going to add 1. You're going to shift your graph 1 unit to the right. So you're going to add 1. So it's your x value plus 1. You do the opposite here. Okay, so if we add 1, to all these x values, you get 3, you get 2, 1, 0, and negative 1. Keep your y's the same. Now, multiply all your y values by negative 3. By negative 3. So you get negative 3/4, negative 3/2, negative 3, negative 6, negative 12. Keep your x's the same. And then add 2 to your y values. So if you added 2, so think of this as negative 0.75. If you added 2, you get 1.25. The next one, negative 1.5. If you added 2 to this, you get 0.5. Add 2, you get negative 1. Add 2, negative 4. Add 2, negative 10. So I'm going to graph 3, 2, 1, 0, negative 1. So over 3, 1, 2, 3, up 1 1/4. Over 2, up half. Over 2, I'm sorry, this should be a 1. Over 1, down 1. Over 0, down 1, 2, 3, 4. And over 1, negative 10 is going to be off the page. So here's your graph. Next one, number 16. We don't have to do anything to this equation, but our parent function, we're going to do negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. So you have 1/9 here, 1/3, 1, 3, and 9. Now, we're not going to need all of it, but it's better to have more than not enough. So step 1, you don't have to multiply the x value by anything. All you're going to do here is add 4 to your x's, because this is a shift 4 units to the right. So you're going to take all these, you're going to add 4 to the x. So if you added 4 to all these, you get 2, 3, 4, 5, and add 4, you get 6. So your y's are going to stay the same. Next, go in front here, you're going to multiply your y values by negative 2. Okay, so all of these by negative 2, so you get negative 2/9, negative 2/3, negative 2, negative 6, negative 18. So keep 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we're going to add 3. Now, the ones that are easy to add 3 to are these right here. If I added 3 to this, so negative 2/3 plus 3, so I need to multiply this by 3, this by 3, so this is 9 minus 2, which is 7/3. And 7/3 is 2 1/3. So, and then this one, you're going to have 4. If you added, add 3 to this, you're going to get a 1. Add 3 to this, and add 3 to this. So look at these points. Now, you could do that one also, negative 2/9 plus 3. Negative 2/9 plus 3 over 1. You're going to multiply this by 9. So this is 27 minus 2, which is 25/9. And 29, that would be 18 and 7/9. So under 3. So under 3, less than 3. So 2 and 7/9. So let's sketch this graph. Let me write. 2 and 7/9. So over 2, up 2 and 7/9, so under 3. Over 3, up 2 1/3. over 4, up 1, over 5, down 3, and 6, we're going to be down off the page. So this is your graph. Number 17, the parent function is y is equal to 2 to the x power. So again, you're going to graph -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. You get a fourth, a half, 1, 2, and 4. So we only have 3 transformations here. We're going to go, we don't have an a value to pull out. So we're going to add 6. We're going to add 6 to your x's. So take your x's and add 6, because it's 6 units to the right. So if we add 6 to these x values, add 6 to this, you get 4, add 6, you get 5, add 6, add 6, add 6. Keeping the y values the same. Next, go out in front. This one, you're going to multiply all your y values by -1. So all these by -1, y times -1. So 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 stay the same. So now you have -1 4, -1 half, -1, -2, -4. And the last thing, you're going to subtract 3. So this is going to be -3 1/4. This is going to be -3 1/2, -4, -5, and subtract 3, -7. So, see if we got this right. That is correct. So we're going to do, put these in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's graph those points right there. Over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 3 1/4. Over 5, down 3 1/2. Over 6, down 4. Oops. Right here, -4. 7, down 5. 1, 2, 3, and off. So 3, 1, 2, 3 1/4, 3 1/2. Whoops, this is -4. Right here. 5, and then 7. So it should look like this. Just like that. And the last one, number 18. Your parent function is y equals 1/2. So this one's going to be a decay problem. That's your parent function. So if you plugged in -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. When you plug a -2 in here, you're going to flip this, and this is going to be a 4. When you put in a -1, you're going to flip it, and you're going to have a 2. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Plug a 1 in here, you get a half and a 4. Okay? So these are the ordered pairs you're going to use for this parent function, y equals 1/2 to the x power. First thing you're going to have to do is, this says plus 4, so we're going to subtract 4, take your x values, and bring them 4 units to the left. So it's x, the x value minus 4. So if you subtract 4, you get -6, subtract 4, -5, -4, subtract 4, -3, subtract 4, -2. Keep your y's the same. So 4, 2, 1, a half, and a 4. Now we're going to move out here. We're going to multiply the y values by 3. All of these y values get multiplied by 3. So if we multiply all these by 3, you should get a 12, 6, 3, 3 halves, whoops, this should be 1/2, this should be 1/4. And then 3/4. So keeping all the x's the same. And the last thing, you're gonna subtract 1 from your y values. If you subtract 1, you get 11, 5, 2, subtract 1, you get 0.5, and subtract 1, you get -1/4. So -6, -5, -4, -3, -2. So take a look at this graph. Over 6, up 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up 11 is off the page. Over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 2. Over 3, 1, 2, 3, up 1/2. And over 2, up, down 1/4. And here's your graph. We are done with our assignment.